Why, hello there. That tweaked just a little bit. Might look a little weird for now, but shortly here it should get better. All right. So before my internet went to crap last time, we were in the process of getting this pulled out. Okay, yeah, we were sending the character notify struct over instead of building this here. Okay, so we need to do a couple things. Field exit text will have to move. That's fine. Let's go ahead and just comment this out for now. What was this used for? Ah, right. Okay. This will all get moved. How do we handle a room look? I'm not completely sure. That I'm happy with this, but I don't know what else to do about this to make this drivable via code. Because we want to use these notifications to let NPCs make decisions for characters as well. They'll bind to a character the same way a player does. Is kind of the general plan. The Yeah, I guess the other thing we could do is not use this notification. We could put that back and not use the notification. What do we store about room? We store occupants and room data, right? Maybe we can just drive it off that. That would be better, I think. Location and exits. So we would need to add to that. Which wouldn't be the end of the world, right? We could deal with that. I'm just thinking this is a lot of things to lift and shift for this behavior, right? And if we're going to still have to have a pointer to our character, which we will, because we'll bind to it. And it'll be a third-party package, right? Outside of the ecosystem that drives this thing, so that should be fine. Nothing will go to the NPC handler from the game manager. It'll react, except for maybe like a ping to process events or something like that, maybe. I don't know quite yet, but it should be fine. There shouldn't be a circular dependency issue. I don't think. So, it's just a matter of how do we want to do this. But I do kind of want to move this into the client handler, though. Because that should really govern what data is sent to the client, like the format of it. This shouldn't be in the character, I don't think. So maybe we're kind of on the right track anyway, right? This we need to swap out for the notify event, which we can do. I guess if we drive it off of like the signal in the channel, that kind of gives us like a timing, right? So like if you see a player enter, like you're an enemy NPC, a player enters the room, then you engage some kind of a timer, and then you attack, or maybe it's immediate, you know, but it goes into the event loop, which is, I mean, it's pretty fast, so we might want to do a timer, but still. Okay, so that gets changed to that. Character notify is just the generic notification here, but we call notify on that. What's going on here? Oh. Not important right now. Okay, this is a message. This is a targeted event. Yeah, I don't know why you didn't put this into... It's a character look. Why did we put this into the character? I don't know who Little Tay is. Is it true all hackers use Linux? I don't know. Depends on what you're calling a hacker. Why didn't we put this? Okay, so we got look data. I think this was just a placeholder. Black or white hat, of course. I don't know. I don't know much about the security space in that regard. Sure, more percent of hackers use Linux. I mean, yeah, probably a lot of the tools are probably Linux friendly. Like I know Kali exists, right? But I don't really mess around in that space. I think this was just like we decided to put it in here until we put it into the state machine, maybe? But we call look on you. Should you add this to state, right? Okay, so in this case, Kali Linux is the phishing machine of doom. Okay. My family thinks that I can fix the internet router because I'm a programmer. I think this is what they intended by hacker. I mean, it could be, right? But don't lie. You can fix the router. You just don't want to. You're going to turn it off and on again, and it's going to work fine. How you doing today, Marco? Good to see you again. So how does this work in a world where we pass updates like that to notify? It really wants to be an interface, but I really don't want it to be an interface. Where did the name Mongoose Studios come from? Any meaning? Nope. I like fuzzy critters. Um, I mean, I guess we have character look. We could still do that, right? And we could just put the text data in there. Why don't you like interfaces, Psycho? I mean, they're fine. It's just we have... It would make it even harder to understand about what's going on here, which we already kind of have a degree to, but we have to, right? Just because so many different events need to come through here. Expecting a long story that a mongoose saved your life or something? No. um, there was this really, really old movie called Ricky Tikki Tavi about a mongoose eating snakes. That's all I really remember about it. And it's just a thing that kind of stuck in my head from my childhood, and I was like, why not just a mongoose? Yeah, it sounds like an interesting creature, right? And then I, fell down the Wikipedia hole of what the heck even are they? They're not mustelids. They are more closely related to hyenas, I think it was. Pretty sure. So all kinds of different creatures, meerkats, and other crazier looking rodents that live in all over the place, really. And it sounds cool, basically. Done research, right? I mean, I wanted to know, especially because there's another streamer on here called Otter Make Games, and I enjoy his stream when I have time to watch. And the topic of mustelids came up there, which made me go re-verify, right? I'm confused as to why I didn't move this over. Which it kind of should be, but we'll do that later. We're already kind of messing around a lot with different things, right? So we'll still have our look data. Actually, I should put this node down here is what I should do. And then we'll do, we have a look event. We do a check in here. No, we don't. We move that in notify. Okay, so we can just send it. This is new, just new event. Character look. What do we have? Oh, hey, thanks. Oh, holy cow. It's a raid from an otter. How's it going, Otter? We were just talking about you. Join us in following Otter Make Games. How's all the everything? What were you working on today? Yeah, I know I did, right? I have summoned you, Otter. I'm all right. I'm all right. Been busy. Been very, very busy, but trying to get back in the saddle here. What were you working on today? Was it Once We're Home? AKA Dog Game TM? Worked on sprite art for parallax background layers in Doggo Game. Awesome. That's fantastic. I hope you made some great progress. Drop all the links. Share all the things. What am I up to? We're setting up testing for the event system that runs through characters and actually makes it possible for them to do things. Yeah, I put pixels. That's kind of an ideal day for an otter, right? Event system, yes. There is indeed an event system. Lots and lots of crunchy server work right now because Go doesn't allow recursive imports. So we had to kind of generalize things out, and lots of wrinkles. It's worse when I put bugs, right? Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for the raid, and share the links for the things. Do all the stuff. I don't know if you got to run or not. All this animal talk, I might need to be Shark Studios or games. There you go. There you go. Okay, so we give it a event type. Due to the large amount of animal name studios, I've decided to start Animal Planet Studios to document this scary trend. Or Marco, you could start a publisher and gather all of the animal names together to rule the world. I has no links for Once for Home, but check out Itsy My First Game if you like. It's about burnout. Yeah. I thought you had links. I must be confused. But yeah, also Otter has made another game called Itsy. Otter is low-key rad. Like he's super chill and humble, but he used to work like for real game studios, and he does super rad pixely things. Okay, so we need to make a new event for this, is what we were doing, because we build our data here. There you go. Get some of that. And I'll shove this over into the YouTube as well. Of course. You gotta share the love, man. Gotta spread the love for the homies doing all the cool things. Okay, so we need to create a new event. Bring awesome energy too. I mean, I try. I just show up and try to, you know, try to be. Okay. So yes. Distractions. We need to create ourselves a new event here. So let's just do that here because it'll be easier to read. We have our look data, which should be a string. It is a string. Streams are hella chill, I gotta admit, Mr. Marcus. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I do try to be chill. Hang out, nerd out, you know, that kind of thing. Do we want to put a string into... Yeah, that's fine. Because the event holds a, an interface, so we can actually just put that in directly. Gots to feed doggos, leaving a lurk to my back. Hey, absolutely. Love a lurk. Hey, thanks for the follow. I really appreciate that. Glad to see ya. Welcome in. We're working on a MUD, which for those of you that don't know, which is probably most of you, because you're not ancient like me, stands for multi-user dungeon. It hails from the era when computers were getting a little bit better and the internet was a thing, but it was all still pretty bad. And we used to have text games before the internet, things like Zork, and it was kind of like a choose your own adventure. When we got MUDs, they were like a choose your own adventure online with your friends. They're the prototypical MMO. And because I'm insane, I decided it would be a fun thing to do to write an engine to run a MUD in Golang. And then months later, here I am doing that. It's been very educational and fun. We can run it here in a little bit once we fix all this stuff that I just broke. But yeah, you should rewrite it in Rust. No. I thought about it. I really did. I thought about Rust. I thought about Zig. But I've never written a game engine before. So do one thing that's hard at a time, right? So I like Go. I'm very comfortable in Go. So I decided to write it in Go instead of trying to learn a new language and then write a thing I don't know how I'm going to write yet. And we can shove you in there, except for we got to dereference you. No. What am I forgetting? Oh no, we put character notifier in there. Right. Okay. Go for over a crap, right? Rust mentioned, Rust calls. Marco, over on the YouTube side, is a pretty big Rust fan. I seem to attract Rust people for some reason. In my old time slot, I have a guy in Ireland who's also a big Rust fan. But he's probably asleep right now because it's late for him. This needs to be character notify event, which becomes more problematic. We can still do the character look, that's fine. Data can still be an interface, so everything here is good, except we need to fill in these fields. It is private in the sense that only this character knows about this, which doesn't really have that much bearing for this, I don't think. Oh no. My little spammer bots have found me. For a while there, I had gotten rid of them. Off to report land for you. And a ban. There we go. Which the private won't really have a bearing here, but we still need it. Topic ID. That's the character. Well, it's whatever we want it to be, but I think see, this is built to have an occupant ID list, which I don't know if we really want in this case. That's a little bit problematic. And if we get too sloppy with our structs, things get crazy, right? Trying to avoid that. It might be okay for this one. We might change it again later, but if we do the target as the topic ID, and then we need the ID of the target, which we can actually get from the look event. Let's just do that. And then we do look data. Occupants IDs is nil. Do you use Twitter or should I say X? I do. If you look down in my linky links down there, I should be in there. I'm in all of the everything currently. Okay, so if we did that, then we'd have to do that. No? What's going on? New character notify event. Oh, this returns an event as well. Dang it. Because it wraps it in that event. What were we doing over here? We just passed you directly. That's why we were getting around that. That's why we decided to use the character notify. Yeah, that's fine. We just need to take out the wrapper. And do this instead. Do that. This won't need to be dereferenced. Private is true. This is our target ID. We don't really need the helper. That's fine. That's more for wrapping convenience. Okay, so if we put that in there, then we fire that off to the notification. This guy. Payload is our notify event data. We would need to do the same thing here. Character notify. Notify event. We can pass this in directly. And then just ditch that. Still need to make sure that you're active before we notify you. You're a targeted event. That's why we changed you. And we do still need to move that over, but for now it can stay there. We'll refactor that. Okay, so that fixes up those. But we're about to break it again because we need to go back over to character land here and make all of these also use it. Just fine. Which is going to mean changing these for the sake of sanity, basically. Notify enter, for instance. We just did the character notify. And then we did the work in here. We still have to do the dereferencing and all that. Let's bring that over. Room data, is that what we did? It is, yes. Which actually we used to have already. We just need to take this part out. We will need to type assert this over here now instead. So our room data. Oh, we passed the whole, right, yes. Duh. This is the character notify. And then this is the exit event data. Like so. Instead of returning here, we log it. Because it ends up just being logged anyway. There's really nothing we can do about it if this is an error. Just like so. This is exit event. Okay, and then this becomes, that still needs to be done. Except for this all needs to be moved. What we should do is say, no, I lied. That's perfectly fine. That's all fine as it is. This gets scooched over eventually, along with this. But this just becomes... not that. We end up just passing the whole thing, right? Here we do work because we need to update the room data. Here we just need to send the message. Yes. Which means I don't even actually have to do this type assert here. This will end up getting moved over to the client handler. This just becomes, in both cases, notify event. We still make sure you're active before we notify anything. And same with the occupant IDs. And we do that to make sure that no matter the order, you get notified. Okay. We'll fix all that here in a little bit. This new channel needs to be not a message. New channel now creates the correct channel type. We just need to return it when you listen to events. Room look, okay. Room look and notify other action. This we'll just pipe over as well. What uses you? Nothing. Okay, I think maybe we just forgot to tie this in. This should kind of be the other thing that we just did for... Well, maybe not. We put you up top here. For some reason, everything has expanded again. Love that. Still character, unstill character. There we go. Handle event. Notify character, just handle character notify. Room data. Room look. I don't know what I was thinking here, but nothing's using it, so character notify. Which will pass through for now. That way we can put the topic ID in there. Room look, I think room change data, long description. We just need to assert the room change data, but we don't need to do it in here. We'll need to do this filtering up here, but that's fine. We can leave the to do in there. This will end up for now just doing that. That'll make this compile and make this compile as soon as we pass that in. Why did we decide to switch on that? Our event should have a type. We'll fix this in a second. Because the string... That's what we were doing. Okay, so it was just kind of piping through strings, but then if it was a room data, we were doing a room look. Can we switch on event type instead? And then this should be using the notify in the character, but I guess maybe it doesn't really matter. Maybe we just move that over. We'll look at that in a minute. Right now, we just want it to compile, right? So we're gonna do this so that this test will come back to, but I think we broke, oh, maybe we didn't break stuff. Yeah, there we go. I was gonna say. Test message, because this is no longer correct. But here's what we're going to do instead. I like this idea better. We're going to comment that out and comment this out. And we're kind of going to let our theory that this is the good answer prove itself out before we go and fix all these tests, because that's kind of a lot. We just want that to be able to compile. Then we'll put these two back like so. And then we can run this test. Our other tests, I think, are okay in this case. Yeah, okay, so what we need to do here for these guys is we need to, before we send the event, let's do, I think we're going to need to do this a lot. So let's do this. We're going to say, this is handling character enter. On the character entering. Look, notify enter. What are we giving you? We're just giving you enter event. Room change data. We do all this work, which goes into the character. We do this in any case, so entering character ID is what we used to switch on. We still have the topic ID though. So from this perspective, this is just a character notify. Same with this. The thing that they do with their text is determined by this, which will go into the handler when we're done. Yeah, okay. What we expect from this, private should be false. Topic ID should be moving character ID. Occupants should be stationary character ID. Data. Data should be room data, which should be the test room data. Like so. Okay. So, right here, what we can do a wait group. Add one. Fire off a go routine here. Defer. Wait group done. The body of this, we don't want this to block, so we'll do a for loop here. We'll say we need to moving character this into events. This will be our character event chan is that you also return an error. Can I fatal an error in here? Must be called from the go to run test benchmark. Okay, I was afraid of that. So let's also do an error for them. And we return. Otherwise, selectors, it's select in this case, I believe. This is car Chan. If we receive anything on this, this is switch. No. I can never remember if it's switch or select for this. Is it that? I need to look it up. I can't remember off the top of my head. Non-blocking channel. It is select. Okay, so it's select and we put it in here. Right. This is where this goes. And I also need to do... spell that correctly. There. Okay, so... the default... we'll sleep for a millisecond, let's say. And then at the end of this select, we'll also do appear one second. If it's after the timeout and we're here still, then is a new error. Waiting for message, and we return. If there is a message, then and we return. Now, I'm tempted to pull this out into a function, but it would require me to give it the weight group and all of these. But I'm going to have to do this a lot, so... for anything we want to check the return of, in this case for the event, we'll have to do it. So we might as well. We'll do await character event, which takes the character. Just thinking about a method. Nah, we'll do it. This way, it's fine. Character. We can just do WG here. Make group. And then this is a pointer to the result. And this is a pointer to an error. We want to put this go func in there. No. Because we're just going to go this function. This is, oops. This is char. Ah. There we go. This then becomes message error. Is that I want to dereference this is what I want. I think same with this, except for this is let's call you notification instead. The same thing we say. Dereference that. This is our, I believe this is the correct way I want to do this. Okay, so then all of that we instead say wait character event. This is test moving car. This is WG. This is the notification, which is moving car output, and then moving car error. Except for these need to be address of, and address of. Bum. It's frozen. We'll fix that real quick. Okay. We need to do the same thing here. This is test stationary car. This is still the same weak group. This is stationary output and stationary stationary car error. Now, let's see here. We need to do WG wait. And because we don't block here and we time out here, we set errors here. If we do time out, we should be able to say if error from the moving character same deal here for the stationary guy. Just like that. What is complaining? Oh yeah, because we haven't used it yet. Okay. Now, okay, so then we fire off. Ooh, actually, I lied. We need to fire off handle event first, and then we need to wait. Can't do that in the other order because you need to be subscribed to listen to it before we can get the event. So yeah, it has to be in this. This should be fine. It should be a couple milliseconds. If we need to, we can extend the timeout, but a second should be way more than we need. Okay, so we fire it off and then we wait for them to be done. One way or another. Oh gosh, I'm like shrinking here. Let me go turn on the overhead light real quick. I'll be right back. I got all busy working. Didn't realize it got dark. I was slowly becoming a disembodied head. Okay, so we do the weighting. Okay, now we check those for errors. If there's no errors, then we're good to compare these. What we expect to see. We want to move this down here. We need this up here for that. Let's do this. Let's put you down here. Just to keep you closer to where you're used. Let's pull this down. Yeah, I think I like that a little better. Now, if we deep equal the stationary output with the expected notified data, we could say invalid output from stationary character. We'll do a new line for visibility, for readability. And we'll say wanted. This should be short enough that it's fine. We'll still do the names on the fields. And then this is expected and stationary output. Then we do the same thing here with the moving output. Did I really name those two differently? I sure did. Let's keep that. Samey sames. Okay. So. This should be runnable now. Let's find out if I messed up. I forgot to start the database. There you go. Okay. What happened here? Error from the moving character, nil. Run that to make sure it cleaned up first. There we go. Okay. Did I screw up my error check here? Up. This is not. It's down. It was down. That's why. So it's not equal to nil. What? Moving car air is a timeout. Why does that not? Oh, because I'm dumb. That's why. Ah, this is stationary. Timeout waiting for character event message. Okay. Confused as to why that would be, but just as a quick test, we'll do that. It should still fail, I think. I don't think it was a timing issue. Yeah, still timeout. Okay. We'll go back to 1 second there. So it's not getting sat. Listen to events. Bop, bop, bop. Handle event. Test manager. We unstowed you, so you guys should both be online, quote unquote. We'll check here. Attributes, loading skills, loaded. New character. Status miner starting. Status miner starting. Okay. Handle event. Does handle event get fired correctly? Let's go fond out. Jump into you. You come down. You come here. Should be character enter, and it is. Whoops, I should have gone. We'll do that. Into here. Notify enter. Notify enter. Notify does get called. Why don't you? Why don't you send? I guess we'd have to go all the way in here. We return true. So notify gets called correctly. Notification channel. Turn true. You definitely get sent. Not that anymore. Not that anymore. So we get here. Message. Character notify. Didn't happen that time. Interesting. Didn't hit that either. Bet you there's a race in getting them registered. We add you, we fire that off, fire that off. Should see an error if there's an error registering. If we did... If we did a half a second sleep here just for testing, what would happen then? Then they would pass. So it is a race in getting them registered in time for the test. I would prefer not to sleep for half a second here because this becomes unreliable, right? Every time I've ever done this in a test, it has bitten me eventually, I think. What we want to do here... We could do this, and then put this into a funk. We move our defer into here as well. We need that. Fix that. And then instead of go routining these guys, we just fire them off. We still add them to the wait group. But that makes sure that we get subscribed before we fire off. Maybe. I hope. I'm thinking. Yes, fantastic. Okay. That gives them time to register, run through the locks before we start firing events. It's a test problem, not a thing we'll encounter in actual operation, I don't think. Okay, so... because that works, and it does give us the ability to do decisions based on that, I think we do want to go with this route. Just thinking... something about it that doesn't quite sit right with me, like I think I'm setting myself up for failure later, but... I think we're going to go with it for now. The other thing we should do is verify the room data. This should be test. Should actually just be test room data. Think. Character. Where'd you go? Notify enter. Make the exit map. Because you're a list and you're a map. That's right. Okay. This isn't room data. That's right. We did a different struct for this because we have different use cases. It's room information. Location is the test room data location, but exits should be a map. String, no, cardinal. Yes. Cardinal direction and a room exit. And in here we should have one, and it was this guy, and it is should be northwest. What did I call you? Ba, 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 ba. Yeah. That's why I was unhappy. And then this should be dot exits 0. Can I do that? I can't. Okay. Now I should be able to also say, yeah, reflect, not reflect. Deep equal expected room data with moving character output the data. I won't have to type assert. Reflect should take care of that, I think. Bad room data set. Oh wait, actually, this isn't data. This isn't even. This is the moving car. Let's test moving car dot current room info. Bad room data set got wanted which will be current room info and expected. This shouldn't be room data, it should be room info. Should be room info. Expected room info, like that. Okay. commented out. I want to... Do I want to? No, let's fix it first before we do a commit. All of this, if we run the whole package, should still be passing right now because we got everything commented. Yes, perfect. And we can go back here and like so. Roll that back. Now, here we still do... Because this is only for one, we put them all in one. It's because we only do it one time up there. Okay. So we'll leave that for now. But this needs to be a character notify instead. Private, sure, whatever. This is just testing the notify, so it should be fine. Topic ID can be character notify, why not? Nope, that's not correct. What did we... What are my options? Oh, it's notify character. Oh, duh. This is topic ID. It's just a UUID. We can just shove some of that in there. Data. Can just be a string, that's fine. Like so. Okay. Then received. Character notify instead. Okay, that should fix that. We can actually just use this same one. I think. Don't see why not. This is just testing the nuts and bolts of the notification, right? Meow. And making sure that ignoring when we don't have and stuff like that. This can't be nil. This should be an just an empty character notify. I can't do that. I would need to do I believe this is why we did... Oh gosh, my internet is currently dying. That's fun. That. Tell me why you are freaking out so badly. I thought you were in such a good place, too. No big outages. Little bitty obstruction, it says. So why? 912. Why did you do this? I wonder if Restream just doesn't gracefully handle degradation. Oh, it's crap right now still. Why? Why you do this? These aren't even recent. These are old. More than half an hour ago. I see the drop in throughput, that's for sure. Restart that. Yeah, that's all but one is from more than half an hour ago when we didn't have an issue. Super annoying. Maybe I'll send them a ticket. Anywho, so here we would have to do is, instead of just doing equality, we'd have to do a deep equal against an empty object, just default. But got that instead. Let's run that. And see if that's all good. And it is. Okay, perfect. Now let's fix up these guys. This is no longer room data. New event, event type, character, exit, test room data, test events, specifically the dereference version. No. What? Ah, because, right, did it again. It should be character notify. False for that. Topic ID is our character ID. Occupants is, I think we only have the one. No, we do. We do have two. So this should be, we called you Testcar? Yeah. Just double check here. We gave you target car. So you should be the topic, I'm 99% sure. Okay, fix that, like so. This is a room exit. Nope, no, 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 nope. Character notify. This goes away. Test room data will be a thing. We need exits for you. Could actually probably pull this over. And then you go in there. And then this needs to be just the test event. Believe? And this is going to look real similar. Just grab this still. This can take place of that. Test event. This goes away. Character notify. And then this becomes test event as well. Think. Unless I am confusing myself, which is always possible. We can do self-exit, same... Oop, nope. We can use the same data structures for this. These we should be listening to... Result channel is the character, which is test char. You don't have IDs. That's fine. You don't need to actually... Ooh. Need to fix this up a little bit. Because we don't create you. Oh, but we don't run you through the check for whether or not you're online. So this should still be fine. Okay. This is kind of just a primitive primitive test for this. Do we even get value out of this anymore? Yeah, we make sure you pass through without modifying anything. The real test is up a level at the event handler, but this is fine to still have in here. Okay, so we replace that with our more complete. This is no longer target, though. It's test. So making sure that you get the update as well. You might be able to merge. That's fine. We'll leave it. Notify goes in there. Perfect. Except this goes away. Getting them sleepies. Let's see. This becomes the test event. Copy you. Same deal here. Test room data gets replaced. Feed in test event. Get rid of this. Character notify. Test event. Okay. Let's give this a run. Perfect. All is green. Okay. Yes, we'll do a commit here. We still need to move this over, but that's okay. Double check here. That looks pretty good. Yeah, let's make this bigger. There we go. Move, or rather refactor notification channel to carry game events dot character notify structs instead of protocol messages. Add test for character enter event. Push that up. Now, let's fix this up before we go any further. We need to be in client handler. Send message needs to be a protocol message. That's fine. So here, listen and forward events. Why did I put you? Oh, because we block. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So here, when we get our event message, we need to build the same way we used to do in character. We're going to we're going to assume that anything that gets notified here has already been filtered for the ability to see it happen, right? This is definitely a thing that this character should be privy to, basically. So this actually can come up here. And instead, this is figure out checks here to filter the exit's already filtered. Filter the character enter message if needed. For an entering character. To make sure future me understands what the heck I was talking about. Okay, so all this becomes a thing that lives here. We're happy with that. This needs to be, okay, so, character notify. This is topic, this is topic ID. And then this is the bound character, which we called just character, like so. Then this becomes, we only have an ID in here, I think. We can do character manager as part of this enter. Make sure that you're active. It does that to fire this off, though. It's probably fine to still, because we have access to. Oh, but that's internal, right? What do we have a handle to in here? Forgot about this. Game manager, we have a character. How do I want to do this? Because manager's a private field. I guess I could do, okay, this could be interesting. If we give character a public function, public method, that is get get other car. Or just thinking that if we pipe this through here, right? If we run this through the character itself, that gives us a chance to modify it in some way, shape, or form, for like disguises or something. Maybe I don't know. Just a thing that kind of crossed my mind as soon as I started thinking about putting this in here. Um. What if we did info instead? We don't know about it. We only have one character struct though. Still do character. Um. Because you return a bool. We can do that. I guess that's fine. And then here we need to get the topic ID. We can do that's a little messy. Let's just do that. And then we say if it's not nil, we do that. Else we say that. Let's just say for now. This, okay, so we also need to, even before we do this, this becomes interrupt date, but we need to pull over and do another type assertion on the data in here to make sure that it's a room update. Event message, data, group data. We had to do this if we want to continue to use it though. So we just say it's not okay. I guess we can call it that. It's fine. But if it's not okay, then we need to do... What do we do in the case of a failure here? Nothing really we can do or tell the client. This should really just be... bad. Room update data passed to client handler. Got... type, data type passed to client handler. Got that. Expected this. That being event message dot data. This being game events dot room data, like so. And then return? Yeah. Yeah. No. Continue. Otherwise we'd stop listening to the events. Okay. This update data. We had a nice little helper here for adding a line break and edit building exit text. Those will both come in here. The constants that they use will also move over here for meow. This is room, update data, send message, enter update, why are you not happy? Type message is a type protocol message, because you need that. There. That should wire those together. And we don't have any tests for that because, or that are going to be broken by that. Okay. Because we test the listen and forward events in the character package. This is just tying it together. This would be hard to test, though. We might... we might move this to a different package that specifically handles formatting this stuff and giving us a string, right? Or a bytes buffer. Or a byte slice, rather. Or heck, I guess it could go into the protocol. make myself a note to think about that. We won't do it as part of this. Server. Client handler. Should we move the notification? Ooh, wait a second. This needs to. Oh. Should we move the notification string functions to a different package so that all handlers can get the same byte slice message data. Put that down there. Oops. So many things to do. So this should really be, because we're gonna have to switch on the type here, right? So we still get this dot Did I just shoot myself in the foot like heckin' bad? I might have. Because this doesn't know what kind of notifications coming in. If you're a room data, you could be a look or you could be a move. Yep. I just shot myself in the foot. Like, we still drive this off of these. So what if I enter If we drove it off of an event, which does have the type, that we could then switch on. Then we could push this up. Hmm. Hmm. This would move over there, but then the other thing we could do is wrap this into a character specific event or struct that encodes that as well. I don't think we gain anything that by doing that though. Hmm. This is going to become awkward though too if we try to interact with this with code, right? Because we're going to have to continually call character manager and try to get the target if it's not us. Let's roll that back. Let's roll this back. Oh no, not that. This. How do we want to do this? I would like to have pointers here. Again. Because then I can just hand these in. Crap. We still use the game events types. And we can still pass the message to anything that listens. We just want to add extra data to it. In the case of a client handler, it's just going to ignore that extra data, pass along the message. Well, no, because we want to build the messages differently if we want to switch. We want to leave that path open to us in the future. Which would make like a room data really useful, right? We could do different types. I don't think we gain anything from that, though. I'll have to think about that a little bit more. But that does take us to the 2-hour mark. And for right now, that's where I'm going to quit for the evening here. Yeah. That's a tricky one. But yeah, I'm going to call it here for tonight. The schedule is still a little bit in flux. So if you like this kind of thing, then join me again tomorrow, because I'll be back here again tomorrow. Twitch, you have a schedule in Twitch that is very nice, and you can use that to find out what time it is in your time. YouTube, you'll have to do math, I'm afraid. Show up this time, 2 hours ago, your time, and I should be here tomorrow doing the same thing. It's 8 p.m. Central, if that means anything to you. Yeah, thanks for everybody who came and hung out, and the great chats we had today. Love to see you again. If not, have a great week anyway. You guys have a great night. Thanks. Bye.